being a bit more intentional with fragrance placement. To eliminate and wash away the funk. Wait a minute. And lock in first whatever you bathe with. Because the bottle itself costs about a rent payment, okay? We need to talk about, for 2022, how to smell good all day. The last time I did one was last year, and I believe it was late summer. But today, we got to talk about 2022. I'm going to share with you guys my body care tips. I'm going to share with you guys how this is a big part of self-care. I want to share with you guys my shower routine. I've already showered today, so we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Also, I'll share a hygiene routine and what I'm looking at this time around for 2022, because it's definitely not the same way I did things last year when I did the 2021 version. Let's have a chat. So, as with anything, I don't mind repeating myself because I realize it isn't just the squad watching. Appreciate you very much if you are, but then there's also new people watching as well. So, we got to start from ground zero. It's to smelling good all day. This time around, I'm just looking at being a bit more intentional with fragrance placement. But before we do any of that, and we shall get into that, what fragrance placement is. That's what I call it. We need to start with our foundation. That is my must for anything. Before you put anything on that isn't body wash, that isn't body scrub, that isn't body milk, body cleanser, we must start with our foundation. Now, I'm using this for example, and I have a review of this already on my channel. But you got to start with a body wash, what you wash with, before you introduce fragrances, perfumes, colognes, because all you're really doing without that foundation, unless you freshen it up, check that out, you are covering up the funk. F-U-N-K. You don't want to cover the funk. You want to eliminate and wash away the funk. How do you wash away the funk? A bar of soap or body wash, body scrub. Always start with that. You're essentially washing away the dirt, particles, and anything else your skin has come into contact during the day. Or if you are a morning shower person, a morning bathing person, whatever your body has picked up from sleeping on your bed at night, that's first things first. You want a way to moisturize yourself. Now, I just recently picked this up at my very last, believe it or not, Walmart vlog, which you can see here. This is baby oil gel. That's the generic name for it. I have the Johnson & Johnson's shea and cocoa butter oil gel. This, if you want to lock in your foundation of what you have bathed with, then follow it up. No matter what you showered, follow it up with this. This is sort of a gourmand type of scent, so it will complement whatever you bathe with. So if you like all the floral scents, it will complement it and lock in first whatever you bathe with. Then it also is a primer of sorts for whatever you will follow up with after. You can follow it with lotion. That might be overdoing it, extra moisturization. But I tend to use this as a substitute for when I don't feel like doing the extra work, working it in my skin in order to get it to absorb. This is an oil and a gel formulation, so a little goes a long way. But this is a primer also. It sits as a layer in the middle between your skin for whatever fragrance you put on. If you don't want to fool with this, because this takes a different kind of working into your skin, this takes a different type of effort. I raved about this so much Okay. So much. This is not sponsored, but my contact info is in the description box down below. Just in case y'all watching. Sweet Essentials perfume oil. This is the perfume oil alcohol free rendition of Christian Dior's Midnight Poison, because the bottle itself costs about a rent payment. Okay. The last time I looked, and that's been a while, a couple months ago. Does that stop me from wanting the whole collection? No. Fun fact, that was a line, a perfume line that came out by Christian Dior starting in the 80s. The way I found out about it was through a site called Listia. I'll put the spelling here and the video here. That's what put me on to Christian Dior. I would not know about Christian Dior Poison had I not been led to that site. I forgot who put me on to that. But if you are watching or watching in the future, thank you so very much for putting me on to that. I definitely appreciate you. I forgot to mention this, but this is also in your foundation as well. If you're using a body scrub or you're using a body wash, you want to exfoliate first. I'm just all I hate being all over the place, so y'all gotta bear with me. So I would tie everything in together. Exfoliating gloves. You want to use this in your first stage where I was talking about using body wash. Just only because exfoliating brings forth another layer of you setting your foundation too. You could bathe with body wash, and that's a great foundation, bar soap or whatever you bathe with. But if you exfoliate, that takes off the dead layer. Then follow up with the body wash or whatever you bathe with. That's going to make even more of a difference in whatever you follow it with, whether it's a lotion, body oil, baby oil gel, a perfume oil. When you don't have that layer of skin on top any longer, and then you go in there and whatever you bathe with, that's your first foundation. Then if you use something like this, it locks it right on in. You just took up your foundation of smelling good all day up to a even higher level. Can't believe I forgot to put that in there. For the underarms, I have Dove here that I use occasionally. I don't use on a regular basis. I had a bit of a reaction from that, and I think that's to be expected when you're used to using one deodorant and then you switch to another, and the new one your body hasn't had time to fully and properly adjust to everything. Yeah, that's a doozy. And then you wind up getting especially when you have body acne, cyst underneath your arm. You have a breakout, and then it's let me not go there. Okay. I use clinical deodorant. Gone are the days where I just used to use regular secret deodorant. It's great when you're using it at the start of puberty, which was me. And, sometimes your body chemistry changes throughout that period of your life. And then once you slip right into adulthood, then your body chemistry may reject the type of, and this goes for anything, not just deodorant, the type of deodorant you use. I had to upgrade to clinical. I had to update to clinical deodorant through recommendation just because the secret wasn't cutting it. The secret in Dollar Tree, no shade. Just a regular secret, and it isn't clinical. Just the regular aluminum based deodorant. Those infamous stains underneath your arm? Oh my goodness. The worst. Worst. Couldn't stand it. And it's like, I would have these really, really nice shirts. And then it's just like I couldn't get the white t shirts any longer. And I insisted on, before I made the change, before I was recommended clinical deodorant, the shirts were ruined. No matter how much I washed, scrubbed, or spot scrubbed, which means you take and use a spot cleaner or something to scrub out something in the clothes. You scrub out the spot and you do spot cleaning and then put it in the wash to wash the rest of it. No amount of that worked. We might as well just talk about it because it is the truth. My mistakes are your lessons to whoever's watching this and needs it. After I made the switch to clinical deodorant, Woo! Thank the Lord. That saved a whole bunch of t-shirts, shirts, blouses that I really like, tops, everything. Everything. It does make a difference in the type of deodorant that you use. I cannot speak for anyone but myself. I'm going to show you guys two different products, two different formulas of fragrance. Actually, three, in which you can practice fragrance placement. Un momento, por favor. Bam. So this is from the Christian Dior collection. This is Hypnotic Poison. Now, I wish it was named something else. No shade, but it is what it is. It smells good though. Very sweet, nearly sickening sweet type of fragrance. But I want to show you all a demonstration on how to do your fragrance placement with three different types and three different formulas of fragrance. So we have our first one, which is, this represents the category Honey Mist of fragrance mist body spray. You get from Victoria's Secret, you get from Bath and Body Works. Semi-annual sale coming up, so just throwing that out there for both. Don't know when the Victoria's Secret one is, so there's that. This represents that category. It's a lighter fragrance. You tend to run through these more, especially if you're heavy-handed. The lasting power isn't that much. What you do with this? Number one, because you're going to have to reapply, you're going to definitely have to target some of the same exact spots with your fragrance placement. So the thing for fragrance placement is this. I started to think about, okay, where do I want to? Never mind anybody else. That's great too. But it needs to be for me. Where do I want to smell this fragrance the most on myself? Where do you want to spray it now? There's one place you shouldn't be smacked. Okay? And that is your lady part. There's products for that. Now, if you go and do that, I'm not condoning it. There's that. But everywhere else, where do you want your fragrance for you to smell it yourself? Where do you want to pick that up and smell it without even trying to smell it? That's the key. Where I like, I'll tell you an area. Here. Now, this is fragrance mist, so it blasts out. And I'm not going to rehash my other video in which I teach you how to apply these. Spray that away from you. Target that area. Spray that away from you. Target the area. I nearly got my face. And you do that and reapply. Now, what you want to do when you're dealing with something like this, fragrance mist, and it's not as concentrated, it's not a eau de parfum, it's not an eau de toilette even. When you go to reapply, don't swap spots, because then you'll have a spotty experience with your lasting power. Meaning, if I spray this here now, and then in an hour, I go, oh, I'm going to just spray it on the shoulders, and I'm swapping back and forth, that will completely mess up your lasting power and the experience of you doing the fragrance placement in the first place. It's going to mess it up for you, because then at some point you're going to smell it here and you're going to smell it there. Or the biggest difference, if I spray it here and there, and then I'm like, oh, I don't need to spray it anymore, you're not going to smell it here anymore. Once it wears out in the area that you first chose, then you're going to have to rely on smelling it from here. That's what you do for a body mist, fragrance mist, not as high in concentration. Perfume oils next. Perfume oils, especially something like this, alcohol-free, and for the ones that have alcohol, it exists. I prefer alcohol-free. Now, the fragrance placement with perfume oils, I actually love that first in place, even more than I do the eau de parfum. I'm going to tell you why. Eau de parfum is, although it's more concentrated, I like using perfume oils for my fragrance places where you spray them. I like it a little bit more because, one, this is alcohol free. Even for the perfume oils that contain alcohol in it, the fact that it's an oil means it's concentrated. When you take your fragrance placement, now I've put the fragrance mist here. Nowhere else. Use the same strategy. Figure out, where do I want to smell this the most without even trying to intentionally bend down and smell it. Figured that out? I'm going for the elbows, okay? Now with this, since it sprays out, you see that? In a jet stream, I always spray it in my hands. And I put it here. And same thing with this one. Now, perfume oils, when you do fragrance placement with that, they're concentrated. So that means wherever you put them, they're going to stay for a good couple of hours. You're not likely to have to reapply perfume oil, alcohol-free or alcohol-based, because it is an oil and concentrated for the fragrance. But generally, across the board, you're not likely to have to reapply this perfume oil unless you actually want to put it on and say, oh, I'm going to intensify this. That's it. You're done. Is Eau de Parfum. Now, this stands in for it. Christian Dior Hypnotic Poison. When I tell you this smell real grown, like really grown. Okay? Like, hello. Now with Eau de Parfums, you can do the same fragrance placement. But the thing about Eau de Parfums are that majority of them are alcohol based. I have tried a perfume that was alcohol based and was made with fragrance or with oils mixed together. And I had maybe a little bit of lasting power to that. I think it was called Pheromones or something. Gray and orange colored box. If I have a picture of it, I will put it on the screen. If not, don't count on it. The thing about Eau de Parfums, they are alcohol based, which means that automatically puts a time frame on the lasting power. The lasting power is on a time release. Now, Christian Dior, they have, these are absolutely excellent. The formula, the process, they don't make them like this anymore. So if you're able to get your hands on it, they're treasure. That's purely my opinion. I have put the Fragrance Mist body spray here. Not that much lasting power. Kind of not as concentrated. Then we have put the perfume oil on the elbows. Alcohol free, concentrated. Eau de Parfum though. Pick the place that you want to put on Eau de Parfum. But be ready to either sample it out into a trial size bottle, or be prepared to take the actual bottle with you, or see if they have a smaller bottle of it, which I think they do of this. Eau de Parfums, alcohol based, so you will have to get ready and at least expect in the back of your mind that, okay, I may have to reapply this at least once. But because it's concentrated and the alcohol is the factor that's going to determine the lasting power, in conjunction with your body chemistry, you will likely have to only once reapply. Now, I'm not sure where I'm going to put this, so my hair. I've learned to just be like, okay, instead of putting my fragrance, especially perfume oils and stuff, head to toe, I'm learning that this time around, spray it where it matters. So that way, one, you decrease the overall waste of the product, and two, you smell good where it matters, where you want it to flow and capture someone's nose and senses, including your own. Ladies and gentlemen, that is this year's version of how to smell good all day. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you all next